What's going on, guys? Aaron Goldstein here. So I've been wanting to make this video for a few months, and I've been slowly over time kind of putting together the pieces for it, and I'm going to share with you why that is here in a second. This video is going to be a little bit different than other videos I've made. A lot of the other videos are kind of mechanical and I almost want to say action-based. This is action-based as well, but this is going to go over more of kind of the way you need to be thinking and the stuff you need to understand, and kind of give you a big picture overview of some things. And what I'm going to cover in this video is 10 traits all massively successful phone flippers have. I've noticed this in myself and with other people I've worked with. At the time I'm making this video, I've had about 60 people-ish buy my training, whether it's the university or the basic package or some combination of something. And I've noticed over time working with people now that there are certain traits, there are certain characteristics that all successful phone flippers have, all successful phone flippers do. And these things are actually completely different than what people that don't have success do. So all the successful people, they all do a series of things. All the people that are not successful, they literally do the complete opposite. So if we can pinpoint and understand what these traits are that all successful people have, if you have an awareness of it and you can adapt yourself to try to mimic these as best as possible, obviously there's a very good chance you'll have success, because success leaves clues. Anthony Robbins talks about this. Anthony Robbins has a lot of programs that get people results quickly, and he basically says that he's worked with hundreds of thousands or millions of people now, and he goes, I would be a complete dummy to not see that people that are successful do certain things that not successful people do. And this is really important. This stuff is kind of subtle, but it's very powerful. There's this book called, let's say you wanted to get good at selling and negotiating. And you went out there and you were like, all right, what's the information I need to get good at selling and negotiating? So there's this guy called Sam Ovens. Sam Ovens does, the last time I checked, $20 million a year. Started off with nothing. He says he's projecting, I believe, to do about $50 million a year. Okay? In one of his videos, he talked about different books he'd recommend, and the number one book he recommended for selling was a book called Spin Selling. My dad is a master salesperson. I've learned some stuff from my dad, and some of the stuff I've taught you guys, along from the books that I've read and the seminars I've went to and the businesses I've had and just kind of learning stuff and the books I've read. Some of the stuff has came from my dad. My dad, I believe it was last year, he was the highest commissioned salesperson in his company. So his company has, I don't know how many people they got, hundreds or thousands of people. I know they employ at least hundreds of people. He made more money than anybody else. My dad recommended reading the book Spin Selling. Spin Selling. My dad has the book. He's read the book. He recommends it. Guys, I've read the book. I recommend it as well. It's a great book. So obviously, guys, with this example I gave you, if you wanted to get good at selling, obviously a good route to take would be to get the book Spin Selling. Because of all these people that are successful and making money and that are good at sales are recommending it, it's probably a good idea that you go get it, because it's, over time, there's a lot of substance that back up that it would help you immensely get good at selling. Does that make sense? That's kind of how these traits are. If all these people that are massively successful phone flippers, these are people that were not good at started off at flipping, didn't know anything about phone flipping, but over time are making great money, are getting lots of phones, are making great profits. And there are also people that are sticking with this over a period of time. They're not sticking with it for a month and then dropping out. The reason this is so powerful is because once you know what these traits are, if you can make sure that you're doing as much as you can to align yourself with these traits, there's a very good chance that you'll be successful as well. Just like if you wanted to gain muscle. If you wanted to gain muscle, let's say you knew nothing about gaining muscle, And I'm sure there's some people here that know nothing about gaining muscle. Totally fine. When I started working out, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, I knew nothing about gaining muscle either. I went to all these personal trainers. I hired a handful of personal trainers. And these personal trainers that were all having success, because I only learn from people that have success. Learn from people that have what you want, right? I think one of the reasons a lot of you guys listen to me is because I average about $30,000 a month on eBay, right? So I'm not just teaching you stuff that might work, I'm teaching you stuff that actually works. And that's why you see a lot of people that have success, because I'm not saying, oh, do this, or theory. I'm saying, hey, this stuff worked. I've now taught it to a lot of people who have had massive success fairly quickly using my stuff, whether the script or the ad templates or whatever it is. So I can come to you with some confidence and say, hey, I can't make any guarantees, of course, but I feel very confident that if you do this, there's a very high probability you will have success, because success leaves clues. So if I'm trying to lose weight, and all these personal trainers, the lady personal trainer from Lifetime Fitness and the guy personal trainer from Gold's Gym, and all these people, they all say, hey, in order to gain muscle, you have to do these 3 things. Guys, I probably want to follow them, okay? Because it's not just theory anymore. It's not just stuff that might work for some people. It's stuff that, hey, if you do these things, it's a very high probability it's going to work for you, because it's worked for all these other people. It's worked for men, it's worked for women, it's worked for tall people, it's worked for short people, it's worked for people with a lot of hair, it's worked for people with no hair, it's worked for people that wake up at 6 in the morning, it works for people that wake up at noon every day like me, right? So with that said, I know I kind of hammered on this a little bit just to drive the point home that I don't want you to take this video lightly. This is very powerful information if you choose to accept it, and if you choose to follow it. Let's dive right into it. 10 traits all successful phone flippers have. And these are from people that I've observed that have had massive success and continue to have massive success. You'll notice that some of these 10 things kind of intertwine a little bit, but that's almost good, because it kind of hammers the point home and you see how important it is. So step number 1, trait number 1, is these people, guys, that are massively successful phone flippers, they are proactive. This actually comes from the book, The 7 Laws of Highly Effective People, as well. Proactive means that proactive people create and control a situation by causing something to happen rather than responding it after it has happened. So proactive people, guys, are consistently taking control of their life or the situation they're in. People that are not proactive, people that are the other side, they're victims. They think that this is how it is and this is how it's going to be. This is how my life's been up to now, this is how it's going to be. Proactive people know and understand that, hey, your life might be, maybe you haven't been making the money you want up until now, but proactive people know that they can get better information, they can take better actions, and by doing so, they will have a better outcome, usually them making more money, okay? So, in your phone flipping business, you need to ask yourself, am I, and guys, some of the stuff I'm going to go over might be a little intense because you kind of got to look at yourself, all right? And it happens to me. I mean, I'm in situations and I'm always self-tweaking myself, and I'm like, all right, I don't even know if I should give this example, but yesterday I was at the club, right? I was at the club, didn't drink any alcohol, but I like to go out clubbing, and I like to talk to girls when I'm out clubbing. So I was at the club, and I talked to like 5 or 6 girls in a row, and none of the conversations really went anywhere. So I said to myself, all right, I could just blame the girls. I could say, hey, the girls they're not nice, or they don't like me, but I know that wasn't the case. So I looked at myself. Being proactive means you have to look at yourself and see what you can do differently to improve your situation. And I thought about it, and I don't even know why I'm giving you guys this example, just a good example. I used the reference experiences in my head, and I said, all right, I think I'm being a little bit too, the energy's a little bit too high. So I'm going to be a little silly, but then I'm to tone it down, and I'm to try to build rapport. And the next girl that I went over and talked to, that's exactly what I tried to do. So I want you to see what I did. I didn't become a victim. I didn't say, oh, it's my life situation. I said, what can I do? What are the steps I need to do to create a favorable outcome? I walked over to this girl. I made like a couple jokes and everything. And then in my head, I said, all right, Aaron, let's just try to calm it down a little bit and make some small talk. And I made some small talk, and instead of having like a, 4 or 5 minute conversation, we talked for a half an hour. I was being proactive. You guys see what I did there? I was being proactive. Take responsibility for your life. If something's not working out, for your phone flipping business, instead of saying all these customers are idiots, all these leads suck, this lead source doesn't work anymore, what can I do to improve the situation to get a more favorable outcome? That's trait number 1. Trait number 2, guys, this is unbelievably important. And these traits, guys, these things that I'm giving you here need to be something you keep in the back of your head. And if you need to watch the video a couple times, it's fine. You need to have this stuff in the back of your head. All 10 of these traits kind of just floating and just back there forever, all right? Number 2, look at the numbers over a period of time. Give me 1 second. I want to close this out. Look at the numbers over a period of time. So, perfect example is with me. So, last week, guys, last week, guys, I just had an incredible week. I did like $12,700 in sales for the week on eBay. Like, I had like 4 days where I was doing like, one day I got phones, I did like 450 in profit. I think it was on Monday, guys. These numbers are going to be very close. I mean, it's not 100% accurate. It was like Monday I did like $450 in profit from the phones I got. Tuesday I did like $512. Wednesday I did like $750 in profit. Thursday I did like, it was over $400 in profit. I had a really, really, really solid week. That was last week. This week, guys, it was like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, it was slow. I mean, like, I was still getting phones. There was one day I did like $300 in profit. The next day, guys, I did like, I'm almost embarrassed to tell you guys, I did like 120 in profit. Wednesday, I think I did like $200 in profit. And then it was the next day, I didn't even get any phones. I went through like 50 leads, guys. I went through 50 leads. I hammered out the script. I even searched the marketplace in the groups and tried to find items to make offers on. I like burned it to the ground. I went through 50 leads, no phones. Now, one of those leads, they eventually came back and I got the phone the next day. I made $100, it was like 95 or 100 in profit on it. And you guys know this, if you put the information, you use the script, there will be people that come back to you. Day I didn't get any phones, guys. You have to look at the number over a period of time. I recommend over 7 days and really over a month. Because some days are going to be good, some days are not going to be good. Some days the phone's going to ring and vibrate and messages are going to come in and off the hook. If you do it right, you should always be getting messages, though. But sometimes it just, it just happens, guys. This is how it is. So, sorry, this is actually a note that I'm going to make sure I cover here with this video I'm making for you guys. So, you got to look at the numbers over a period of time. And I've had it, guys, to where, stuff just goes good. If you've been doing this for an extended period, if you're just getting started, you might be like, well, that sounds good, Aaron. Just trust me. You stick with this over a period of time, guys. You've had it to where I've had it, guys, where there's days where I just wake up and every offer I make almost seems to stick. And then I'm setting up appointments and leads are coming in and life is just great. There's been other times, guys, where like I might go through 30 leads. It was just like, it was recently where I went through like, I picked up one phone real quick in the beginning of the day for $50 in profit. And then I had like 25 leads come in and none of them were going through. Nothing was happening. And then like another lead came in. It was, let's say, the 26th lead for example purposes. It wasn't that, but it was like right around there. And that lead came through. I made an offer and I went and picked up the phone and I made like $200 in profit off the 2 phones that I got from the guy. So you have to look at the numbers over a period of time and you have to understand this in your head, because if we all have days, guys. I usually have 1 or 2 days a month still where I don't get a phone. Me personally, I'm just being honest with you guys. But then I have days where I do $500, $750 in profit. Sometimes you got to go through the crap leads to get the good leads. Sometimes you have to go through the slow days to get the busy days. Sometimes, guys, the day starts off real slow, and then after a period of time, you'll get a couple appointments that are set, which kind of, there's like a trait 2.5, which is you have to hammer it out throughout the entire day. One of those days recently last week, literally, I went through all these leads. I woke up at like 1 in the afternoon. I was hitting it hard. I didn't give up. I posted new ads. I was going through all these leads. Nothing was sticking. I stuck with it. And then between like 7 p.m. and like 9:30 p.m., I literally spent about $1,800 on phones that made about $500 in profit. So trait number 2 is you got to look at the numbers over a period of time. If you don't do this and don't understand this, when you have slow days, you will get discouraged. You'll get discouraged. It happens to me, guys. I go through all this positive self-improvement stuff. I meditate, I visualize, and even me, I will have days that are slow, and I'm like, guys, this is coming from me, all right? I literally have thoughts like this. I'm like, damn, shit, I guess I could go get the job that I quit if I needed to. I literally think like that, guys, and I'm sure you might have thoughts like that too. When you understand, you need to look at the numbers over a period of time, and sometimes you got to hammer it out, and sometimes it's going to be on the it's going to be it's going to come at night. All the good stuff's going to come at night. Or maybe it's not going to come at all. Maybe it's going to be a few slow, maybe you're going to have a couple slow days where you make offers and just nothing's sticking. You need to understand this so you don't get discouraged and you stick with this. Because the moment you start to get discouraged, you're going to start taking less action. You're going to start posting the ads you need to post. You're going to stop responding to the leads you need to respond to. Have you ever had a bad day where look, you guys can be honest with me now. This is about business. Have you ever had a day that was kind of slow and you kind of got discouraged and you stopped responding to leads? In your head, you said, this doesn't really work, even though there were more leads on the apps or through the marketplace that you could have responded to, perfectly good leads, but you didn't because you were in a slump. You cannot have that happen, all right? And then some people say, oh, well, it's just a slow day, even though it might not be slow, even though the leads might not be bad, because you have more leads to respond to, but you didn't respond to them because you started to get discouraged. So you have to make sure you don't get discouraged by remembering this stuff. This is like really kind of subtle stuff that happens in your head, really powerful. Can you relate to what I just described at all? You guys can be honest with me now, okay? We got a relationship here. Everything's good. So number 2, look at the numbers over a period of time, and I guess 2.0 is you got to hammer it out throughout the entire day. If it's not starting good, it can be painful, guys, right? It can be painful when you go through 20 leads and you get no's and you get discouraged. You just have to hammer it out. I wish I could tell you a thing to do. I just hammer it out myself. I'm like, this is the business that I'm in. This is what I'm doing. I hammer it out. But that's why we make more money than other people. That's why us phone flippers can make $1,000 to $2,000 a week in profit. We can do $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month. Is because, well, everybody else that tries to phone flip, when situations like this come up, they retreat. They give up. They step back. Us, we push forward. We keep at it. They all retreat, we push forward, and that's why we're successful, and we can ultimately make a lot more money than the average person working a lot less, because, shit, sometimes you just got to deal with the pain and push through it anyway. I wish I had a better answer for you guys, but that's what I do. Sometimes, when everything is going good, it's easy, but sometimes, guys, I just push through the pain, and I do it anyway, and that's why I'm making the money I'm making and having the success that I'm having. Number 3, you got to focus on the positive. I can tell real quickly when someone's going to be successful phone flipping or not. So this guy got my training at the time of making this video. This guy got the university yesterday. Never picked up a phone in his life. He literally got the university. He started posting ads this morning. So he bought the program yesterday. He worked like a 12 or 13 or 14 hour shift. Posted an ad this morning. Literally picked up his first phone today. However, he forgot to factory reset it. I could tell by the way he responded. So some people, guys, they would get all pissed off. Oh, crap, this doesn't work. And they would be in a negative funk. And we already talked about what happened in the negative funk. This guy said the things perfectly. He goes, oh, well, I learned a lesson. I made a mistake and I learned a lesson. I intend to learn lots of lessons. He had the right mindset. He focused on the positive. What was the positive? Well, shit. He put up an ad. He used the information to He got the deal closed. He met up with the person. He just forgot to factory reset it. I guess he just didn't go through that video yet in the university. He looked at it as a learning experience and moved on. People who think like that, guys, they make a lot of money with this because, again, they're focused on the positive, and the positive pushes them forward. There was this other guy that got my training, and I could tell he wasn't going to be successful. I was going to be honest with you guys. Why? Because he hadn't got a lot of phones. He got my training. He met up. He didn't meet up with someone. He started taking some action, and he had an appointment to meet up with someone. So let's see. He started getting leads very quickly. He made an appointment, but the person didn't show up. He sent me a big long paragraph about how the person screwed him over, wasn't proactive. He actually didn't follow the script, because if you follow the script, you say, all right, I'm on my way, I'll see you soon. And then if they don't message you back, I say something along the lines of, all right, you're still there, right? Well, we're still on for 5 p.m., so I always get a confirmation before I drive out there. And, so the script wasn't followed perfectly to the T. And this guy, guys, is still struggling. Okay, you got to focus on the positive. You got to focus on the positive, and this leads to number 4. Number 4 is you got to look at mistakes as a learning experience and move on quickly. Just like the guy gave you the example I gave you of the guy on step number 4, focus on the positive. That guy's going to make a lot of money because he's focused on the positive, and he's moving forward. Now, sometimes you got to look at yourself. If you make mistakes, sometimes you got to look at it, but you look at the mistake. You don't make it a part of you. You don't let your emotion get in the way. You look at the mistake, you make a course correction in your head, and you move forward. Sometimes, guys, I overpay for phones now. I always make profits on it, but sometimes, I'll pick up like a $300-$400 phone, and I make like $40 on it. That doesn't happen all the time, but usually about once a month, just because it's weird. In the beginning, guys, when I started phone flipping, I literally started with $80. So I needed that $80 to work. I couldn't afford a mistake. Now that I got 40 grand in my checking account, 6.5 months later, I actually got a little bit more now, I think. I sometimes almost get kind of lazy with it, because it's like, shit, guys, if I don't make that much in profit, it's not that big of a deal. I got fucking over 40 grand in my checking account, right? So sometimes I will, usually about once a month, I'll pick up a few phones that I don't make that much profit on, and this is what I do in my head. I consciously am aware of this. I feel just a little bit of pain. I say, all right, Aaron, you're getting sloppy with this. You didn't make that much money as you should on these phones. That's not good. Okay, you pay too much for them. Moving forward, though, I say this to myself in my head and sometimes out loud. I say, you're doing fine. You're still picking up lots of phones. You got lots of leads. You got the script, Aaron. Everything's working out fine. Stay with it. Keep responding to leads. However, make sure that the next few phones you get, you really pay attention and you're making profits on. So you see what I did there? I look at my mistakes. I will sometimes almost feel a little bit of pain, but I don't allow myself to sit in negativity or pain, because if I do that, what's going to happen? You guys already know what's going to happen. I'm going to start to retreat. I will start to take less action. I'll say, well, fuck it. I don't feel like responding to any more leads. I'm just going to go get a massage. I'm just going to go to the gym. I can't do that. I need to keep responding to leads. I need to maintain the money that I'm making. So do that as well. You need to do this to yourself. You must control the two things in between your ears. That brain of yours. That brain of yours controls everything. Something negative comes up, address it. This is what I'm going to do differently, and then move forward. And it could be anything. It could be, hey, maybe I need to go through this training again because I don't know, I didn't really see it fully, right? It could be, all right, I'm doing this. I need to do this. If maybe you've had some slow day, maybe you've done exactly what I said, and maybe you've had some days where you've retreated a little bit and you haven't been putting up the ads. Well, and then we went through this training, and you got to be proactive. And sorry guys, I lost my train of thought. Sometimes I see a notification pop up or something. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just say, all right, I haven't been putting up the ads I need to put up. Today's a new day. I'm moving forward. I'm going to now start putting up the ads every day like I need to. I'm going to start responding to every lead like I know I should do moving forward. All right? You got to focus on the positive. Stay cool. Excuse me, guys. Number 5. Trait number 5. Consistent action. So you need to be working when a plane gets momentum as it goes down the runway. And even though gravity is pulling the plane down, with enough momentum and the right mechanics, the plane will defy gravity and take off and literally fly in the air. You need to be consistently taking action over a period of time. You need to be working on this business. So when you go to the gym, guys, if you want to gain muscle, you need to be working out your muscles, usually at least a few times a week. There needs to be a certain amount of consistent action and learning and growth, and sometimes even pain, in order for your business to grow. So you need to be working on your business over a period of time. So you can't expect to get good at this if you dabble in this for a few days, and then you take a week and a half off, and then you come back at it again for another week or so, and then you take another week off. You need to have consistent action. So I would recommend, if you want to make a lot of money with this, you need to be working on this business and getting phones at least 5 times a week. So I'll be honest with you guys, there's even days every now and then where I take a day off. I usually don't. I'm pretty much on it. At least 6 days a week, I'm out there getting phones and hammering it out. Sometimes I'm going through some pain, but I'm usually hammering it out. You don't have to be exactly like that, but you need to be working on this at least like 5 days a week. I'd recommend 7 days, right? The more you work on it, the better you're going to get. And that means every day you're consistently putting up ads, responding to leads, maybe going through some training, right? You're like, all right, I need to get, if there's something you need to get better at, going through that. But every day you're getting a little bit better. I've used this as an example before, but what would you rather have? A penny that doubles every day for 30 days or $1 million? Well, the penny that doubles every day for 30 days, a day like 15. So that means first day you get a penny, second day you get 2 pennies, next day you get 4 pennies, then 8 pennies, and 16 pennies. At day 15, halfway through it, it's like $143 is where it's at. That penny that's doubling, it's right around there. It's like 163 or 43. I could have looked at the numbers. I just didn't feel like it before making this video. So that $1 million looks pretty good. However, at the end of the 30 days, you're at like 5.3 million. So what happens is that penny that's doubling, the line looks like this. Look right here. It's doubling. Not that much momentum, and then eventually it skyrockets and goes to the moon. That's how your eBay business, your phone flipping business, is going to go. Now, some people, they have success right away, right? I mean, there's lots of people that get in, and in a couple weeks, they or even a few days, they just kick it off, right? And some of these people, though, have had past experience. They've had past sales experience and business experience. So they've used what they've learned in the past and applied it a little bit to this and just combined it with what I've taught them. Some people, though, guys, it takes time. It takes time, and we're going to talk about that in a sec, so you need to understand this. But that penny that doubled every day, it didn't take a day off. It doubled every day for 30 days. It didn't double every day, and then after 3 days, it didn't stop, go back to 0, wait 2 weeks, and then start it again. You need to be consistently taking action. You're going to see that with your business. You consistently do this. You're going to get leads. The leads are going to start responding. You're going to be able to negotiate people better. You'll just kind of naturally figure out stuff, but this is like a process you have to go through. You got to be consistently taking action. I'd say at least 5 times a week at this if you want to get good at this, and it needs to be over a period of time. And I'm going to give you guys that period of time here in a sec. Step number 3, you got to get excited about small victories. So if you had no leads one day, and the next day you got a lot of leads, but none of them closed, don't focus on that. Focus on, oh crap, you got a lot of leads. Now be aware of the other things. Say, all right, now I got to get good at closing. But again, if you wrap up all your mind and your negativity, oh shit, I don't have any, nothing's working, you're going to feel pain and you're going to retreat. You got to be positive. One guy was going through, so I had this one guy, guys, he got my training, and he started going through the script, and that day he was able to get someone down like $100 from what they wanted off the price of their phone. So this guy was having problems negotiating people and not getting people to move on the price at all. He got someone to come down $100 from the price that he wanted on the phone, all right? He didn't close the deal. I made sure to point out, and this is stuff you have to do on yourself. You have to monitor your head, but I was just in a situation where I was working with him where I was able to point out, listen, man, this is pretty good. You weren't able to get people to budge on the price on the phones that they wanted. You just got this guy to drop $100 off the price that he wanted initially. Good job. You got to stay positive, right? Small victories, right? You got to stay positive over time. Small victories. Number 7, guys, problems are part of business. If you haven't started a business before, so when I worked at Walmart pushing carts there for 8-10 an hour, wasn't really any problems that came up. I walked in, I clocked in, I pushed carts, that was it. Business, guys, has problems. Alex Becker, that started off with nothing and now does 8 figures a year, says the essence of being successful is problem solving. You will have problems come up in your business. That is part of business. It's something that you need to understand, something you need to deal with, and something that you need to handle. That's just how it works. Problems come up in business, and the better you can get at solving these problems and fixing problems, the better off you will be. There was this lady, I don't think she would mind if I say her name. I'm not going to. She got my training, guys. I knew she was going to be successful. She got my training, and we spent a few days working on getting her ads to stick. She could have been negative. Oh, why do problems come up? This doesn't work, and retreated, did not make any money. She was proactive. She went on the marketplace and on the apps, searched for phones, made people offer on the phones, bought phones, and actually made more money in profit that week just messaging people on the apps in the marketplace than she did working her full-time job for the week. She understood problems came up, but she did what we talked about before. She stayed positive. She was proactive. She looked for a solution, and she's doing just fine now. That's how you need to be. When problems come up, guys, you need to deal with them. I'm on my 3rd Facebook account now, and I'm on my, what is it? I'm on like my 4th or 5th OfferUp account, something like that, guys. I'm actually on my 3rd and my 4th Facebook account. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen to you. I hit the marketplace and the Facebook and the apps really hard, and I hit them really hard. I post like 2 ads a day on each of them, and the ads are, there's always a decent percentage of them that get flagged. So I know over time I'm going to get blocked from messaging people, or OfferUp's going to stop. It's just going to block me completely. I just kind of accept it, right? It's just part of business. Problems come up all the time. No, not all the time. Sometimes, guys, I have weeks where shit's smooth. I'm coasting. Life's great. Leads are coming in. I'm copying and pasting the script. Ads are sticking. Obviously, in the marketplace, after you build it up, you can just refresh ads after a week. So I post new ads. I refresh ads. All the ads are up there. Stuff's good. There's going to be problems that come up, though, especially in the beginning when you're trying to figure this out and you're like that penny that's doubling every day. You're trying to figure out everything you need to eventually. The reason that penny doubles every day is it eventually figures out everything and it skyrockets to the moon. So as you're figuring out everything, there's going to be pain. That's how it is. All right? You got to deal with it. There's no way around it. You will have problems that come up in your business, and you're either going to be proactive about it, step number 1, and deal with it and handle it and accept it and be positive like we talked about before, or you're going to retreat and you're going to give up and you're not going to make any money with this. I'm not going to bullshit you guys. That's how it is. You're either, you got to make the decision. No one's going to make it for you. You decide what you focus on. You decide what actions you're going to take. You decide when problems are going to come up, if you're going to work hard to find a solution or if you're going to retreat and give up on this business. It's up to you, okay? The phones are out there. The business is out there. There's lots of people that are making lots of money in this business. You can decide to be one of them. You can decide not to be one of them. Step number 8, the 2 to 4 month plan. So, you should not expect to hit $30,000 a month your first month doing this, okay? I didn't even hit 30 grand a month. It took me about 3 months till I started doing consistently about $30,000 a month. I've had a couple people, guys, that, now some people, they have success faster than others, right? And if that's them, good for them, all right? If you're not one of those people, you need to be looking at this business, that I'm going to stick with this business. You're going to do what I just told you, or that I just outlined for you. I don't want to tell anyone to do. I don't want to tell anyone to do anything. You do whatever you want to do. If you want to do this business, you do this business. If you don't want to do this business, you don't do this business. Spend the next 2 to 4 months. So your goal should not be to make $1 gazillion tomorrow. Your goal should be over the next 2 to 4 months to get good at this business by doing the things I just outlined for you guys. Taking action daily, going through the problems, figuring it out. I've had a couple people, guys, they're actually people that I've known. And they got in the program, they got in Phone Flipping University. And in the beginning, guys, they were kind of struggling. I mean, they were getting a phone every now and then. They were paying too much. They forgot the factory reset it, all that bullshit. They weren't, they were making a little bit of money. They weren't making some money. And I could feel it when they were talking to me, and they were in pain because they wanted success, but they just kind of stuck with it. They just kind of hammered it out. It's been a couple months now, and these guys now, because they stuck with it, they didn't give up, they stayed the course. Very recently, both these guys have had days where they've had $400 or $500 plus profit days. From starting off where they were having weeks where they were getting a couple phones, but they were overpaying, they weren't selling. They just stuck with it. It's been a couple months now, guys, and I could show you the screenshots. I believe they both recently had $500 plus days. I know one of them had like a $550 day. Yeah, the other guy had a $500 day. These are profit days, picking up phones that sell that they make profits on. Okay? You need to look at this as I'm going to do everything I can to make as much money as I can with it, but in the back of your head, you're looking at 2 to 4 months from now. So pick the middle, 3 months from now, and your goal is going to be making, for 3 months to now, to have all this figured out and be making a lot of money, but you're not going to get discouraged if stuff doesn't happen. You just got to push through it sometimes, guys. Step number 9, focus on income-producing activities. So you guys know that I do about $30,000 a month on eBay. And I work about 25 to 30 hours a week. The secret to the reason that I do that is I focus on income-producing activities. There's 2 income-producing activities. What do you think those are? There's putting up leads, or there's putting up ads and responding to leads. So some people, guys, they're waiting till they have a lot of money saved up to start getting phones. Sometimes they want to go to the Walmart and they want to get a nice thing to do a bill of sale on. Sometimes they don't want, they're not good at appraising, so they want to spend a day appraising phones. Those are not income-producing activities. You get good at appraising phones, by the way, by getting 20, 30, 40 leads a day and appraising 20, 30 phones a day for a week. That's how you get good at appraising phones. Don't worry about all the other stuff, right? What happens if this? What happens if that? This. I need to have this. There's all these things. Income-producing activities, guys, are putting up ads daily and responding to all the leads you get. Those are income-producing activities. If you are spending time taking action that's not those things, I would heavily look at what you're doing. Now listen, if you're going to spend some time going through like my training, right, or maybe you're watching this video right now, that's learning. But in like the prime time, like if you like this video, and I'd recommend watching this video a couple times, I wouldn't watch this video. Let's say this video ends up being 50 minutes. I wouldn't watch this video 10 times in a day and spend, I don't know what the math is, but I wouldn't spend 10 hours in one day watching this video over and over again. Watch this video, but then go out there and hit it hard. And as you're out there hitting, maybe you're like, man, maybe there's a problem that's come up, and then you work on fixing the problem, later. Maybe you go home and hopefully you got a couple phones and I don't know, maybe you got to go through the script video again, or hell, maybe you decide you want to buy Spin Selling and you want to read that book. All right. Well, get the book and read it, but be aware of the time. You got to be aware of what you're doing. You don't want to read that book in prime time to get prime time to put up ads and respond to leads. You're not going to say, all right, well, I'm not good at selling, so I'm going to get Spin Selling and How to Master the Art of Selling, and I'm going to get Grant Cardone's $5,000 program, I think it is, or whatever it is, and I'm just going to spend the next week reading a bunch of sales books. That's important to do. You should do that, but you do that after a day of putting up ads and responding to leads. Then if you need to get better training, because ultimately this is your business, and if something's not working, it's up to you to fix it. No one's going to do this for you. I have a sign on my wall that says nobody cares about my problems or reasons why I don't have the things I want in my life but me. And if I die not making the money that I want, not having the freedom that I want, and not living the life that I want, and not having the experiences that I want, nobody will care. It's right there on my wall. I read that all the time because sometimes, guys, I get in a funk myself. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. And I see that, it gets me out of my head. And I realize, all right, I'm the only one that's responsible for me. Okay? You're the only one that is responsible for you. You are the only one that's gonna make this business work for you. Okay? So focus on income-producing activities. Number 10 basically goes over what we covered in the last step. You need to be putting up new ads daily and responding to every lead you get. Every day you need to be putting up new ads. You know the places to put up the ads. You know them. Every day as soon as you wake up, you put up the new ads. Okay? And you need to be responding to all the ads. So ask yourself, in the last 7 days, have you been putting up new ads every single day on all the platforms you know you need to be putting up ads in? Then ask yourself, have you been responding to every single lead that's come in? All of them, right? Maybe you not the first 10 and then you got discouraged and you gave up for the day and 10 more leads came in, but you didn't respond to all of them. No, did you respond to every single lead that's came in the last 7 days? If you've said no to any of those questions, then are you doing everything you need to do to make this phone flipping business work for you? Out of all the things we just said, have you been doing all the things you need to do to make this business work for you? Now, if you haven't, guys, remember one of the steps? We say, all right, Aaron, maybe I haven't. Maybe you have. I know there's lots of people out there that are kicking ass with this, all right? I know there's lots of people out there that are winning. I see I get all the messages all the day of people picking up phones and big profits coming in. But if you're not, just remember one of the traits we have. We're not going to beat ourselves up about it. We're just going to say, all right, from here on moving out, I know what I need to do. Let's get it started. So I'm going to end this video like this. What is the number one thing you need to do now to take your eBay business to the next level? What is the number one thing, maybe the number one action you need to take your eBay business to the next level? Say it out loud. That's the action that you need to take. Go take that action and do it right now. At the end of this video, don't go on to the next video. Don't go watch the YouTube channel. Don't, don't ask me why I'm making a video in this shirt without the, instead of the wife beater. Guys, the wife beaters are over there. I kind of like this shirt. I don't know, it feels good. But don't worry, I'm a wife beater kind of guy. Or a, tank top kind of guy. Don't worry about that. At the end of this video, go take the action that you know you need to take to get your eBay business to the next level now. Hopefully you guys got value from this video. If you did, let me know. Right on my wall, if you're in the university Facebook group, right in the Facebook group, tell me you got value from it. And go take the action that you know you need to take to get your eBay business to the next level. My name is Aaron Goldstein. See you guys on Facebook. What's going on, guys? Aaron Goldstein here. Now, I know the video was supposed to end. I feel like I should just throw one other little tip out there before the video ends. I don't want you guys to, some of the stuff that we covered was, a little tough. I guess a little, not really tough, but kind of eye-opening and some awareness stuff. And some of the stuff you kind of got to look at yourself and be like, all right, when I had one of my mentors for the first business, there was a business that I ended up doing 6 figures with, the first 6-figure business I had a mentor, and what he would do is I didn't know what I was doing. And I still don't know what I'm doing, guys. I'll be the first to tell you guys, I am not perfect in any way. I've just been going through self-improvement and been learning consistently for 11 years, so I'm just further along than where I was 11 years ago. One of the things he used to tell me, though, was that he used to always say stuff, and it would always kind of hurt me. It would say stuff, and it was directly against some of the stuff that I thought. But I'd put my ego aside, and I would take it in, because I'm like, all right, this guy is right. And deep down inside, I knew he was right. I'd be like, he would say stuff, and I'd feel like, shit, this guy's right. But I wanted the money and the success more than my pride, so I put my pride aside and accepted it. So I don't know how you feel watching the last lesson. I just want to give you guys kind of the other side of this. So once the business gets going, once you have everything figured out, you can get to a point where you have a very successful business, where you're making a lot of money, and the work is not that hard. And it's not even that the work is not that hard. It's just that you got better. It didn't get easier. You just got better as a person. So There's this guy on my Facebook who I've been following. He started an SEO business. Took him like 6 or 8 years. The benefit of phone flipping, of course, is you can start seeing results right away. I had a guy sign up for the university like 2 or 3 days ago. He picked up 5 phones today so far. He's going to make unbelievable profit. That's one of the great things about phone flipping. You make money right away. SEO, usually it's in like other businesses, SEO is just a business. So anyway, he got it going, and he kept grinding and bumping it out and figuring out stuff. He now does about $100,000 a month in profit, working 8 to 10 hours a day. And the work he's doing is usually just like real basic stuff. He's checking numbers, no stress, no drama, no BS, no worry about money. Money's coming in. It's all maintained. What he did, though, that didn't happen overnight. It didn't even happen in a few years. He built his business, and he created it in a way to where now he's making unbelievable money, and he's doing very little work, and that's just how his business is, and his business has been like that now for a while now. So the thing is, when you stick with this, and you stick through the pain, and in the beginning, I remember the first time I was getting a few phones, and I remember the first time I didn't get phones for a few days, and I thought it was over. You might have had that happen too. You don't get phones for a few days, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is over. It's I don't even know if people sell phones anymore. But if you keep pushing through it and you keep getting phones, and then it happens again, the next time it happens, you're like, well, I was in this situation before where I was in a slump, but now and I was able to get phones. Maybe if I just keep pushing, keep putting up ads, keep responding to all the leads, I'll come back. And then you come back, and it happens again. And like now, even with me last Thursday, I went through 50 leads. I didn't get any phones. It's happened so much to me now. I know it's going to happen. I know I will recover. I know I'll keep getting phones. That's just how it is. So as long as you go through this growth process and you level up, there's no reason you can't get to a point. As long as it's what you want, right? Some people, they just want to flip phones and make money part-time, and that's totally cool. But if you want to do this for a job, it's whatever. I'm kind of giving you guys the high-level stuff, and basically you can take it however much you want. You can go all the way, or you can, if you get to a couple grand a month and that's what you want, totally cool. I just kind of want to give you everything so you can do whatever you want, because ultimately it's your business, and you should be able to do whatever you want with your business because it's your life and it's your business. But you get to a high level, even with the ups and the downs, it's not that bad. And guys, I have weeks now where there's no bullshit. There's no problems that come up. I post the ads. I copy and paste the script. Some days I get 1 or 2 phones. Some days I get 8 or 9 phones. But I'm at a level now to where even the little, it's like all I need to do is make this much money to live, and I'm all the way up here. So even if it goes up and down, there's no real pain. That's what that's the kind of level you can expect too. But you're only going to get there by grinding it out, by figuring it out, and by putting a system together. And once you have it together, I've talked to lots of people. They kind of got it together now to where they wake up, they get phones. There's a little bullshit every now and then that comes up, but overall it's a pretty easy, stress-free lifestyle business. That's what this is designed to be. I take pride in the fact that I wake up every day at a noon, right? I like that. It's almost like me saying, hey, I'm making this great money and I don't have to have a job. I don't have to work the 9 to 5. I can wake up at noon, I can get phones for a little bit, and I can be good. I like wearing the white beaters. It's kind of like everyone else thinks they need to dress up to make money, and here I am wearing a white beater, making a lot more money than a lot of those people that are kind of dressed up and they have the suit and tie jobs and they're working 40, 50, 60 hours a week, and a lot of them are working at jobs they don't even like. The last job I had I didn't like. So so just keep that in mind, right? And you can get to that level. I know lots of people that are at that level. They're doing great. They're making amazing money. Business is smooth. A couple road bumps every now and then, but it's a smooth business. They're making great money, and it's a lifestyle. Once you have these skills understood and digested, and you stick with it for a few months, you will have these skills forever. You'll be able to use them forever, and you can very good chance to use these skills to create a great lifestyle for yourself forever. These are sales skills, negotiating skills. I use the script with other stuff too. The sales, just all the stuff you learn, you can apply to all other businesses in life. Your past obviously does not dictate your future. It doesn't matter what's happened in the past. It doesn't matter if you've tried 5 different businesses and that didn't work out. I've been in a bunch of multi-level marketing companies. I put over 30 grand into a restaurant that didn't get started. You can level up and have success and have a new life, right? If you've been making 20 grand a month, 20 grand a year for the last 10 years working a job, that doesn't mean that's your future. That has nothing to do with your future. You can get better skills, you can get better information, you can take different actions, and you can be making, I'm not guaranteeing you're going to make any money, but there's no reason you can be making $1,000 a week in profit flipping phones on eBay working 30 hours a week. I don't think it's realistic. You guys know I spend 25, 30 hours a week getting phones. I don't do 30 grand a month. I'm working 2 hours a day, but it's pretty easy. I'm usually just driving around, listening to self-improvement, getting deals, and I get hyped every time I get a phone I know I'm going to make $80, $100, $150 on. Well, that's what I got for you guys. If you guys like this video, let me know. Let me know in the Facebook group if you're in the university. Write on my wall and tell me. I try to do what I can to provide different values. Some of it's mechanics, some of it's mindset stuff, and you need both. Because if you have all the mechanics, but you're not taking the right actions, you don't understand some mindset stuff, you need both. They need to be intertwined in order for there to be massive success over time. I will see you guys around.